When you first drive a 560 SL, there's a moment that hits you because it's almost supernatural. You turn the key and the V8 whispers to life. You pull away and everything responds with a solidity that makes every modern car feel like it's held together with good intentions and hope. The 560 SL represents the absolute final moment in automotive history when car companies built things to last forever. And once you experience this, everything else feels like a compromise. What's it like? Buckle up, my friends. Let's go for a drive. Now, in this episode, we're looking into what happens when a car company decides that good enough isn't good enough. As well, we're looking into why this nearly 40-year-old Mercedes-Benz is better screwed together than almost every new luxury car that's built today. Now, back in the day, this would do 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. Its top speed was somewhere in the 135 mile an hour range, which was more than fast enough in those days. These days, well, it's a little on the slow side, but this car is the first car that I've driven in a very long time that encourages me to not rush, to take my time, to enjoy the drive. This is fundamental to the character of the car, and in a lot of ways, it starts with this engine. There's no sudden rush of turbocharged violence, no electric motor, instant torque, just a gradual, inevitable accumulation of momentum that comes from 5.6 liters of naturally aspirated German precision. I know what some of you are thinking, so let's address the elephant in the showroom. 227 horsepower from 5.6 liters of displacement seems kind of pathetic in 2025. Here's what those numbers don't tell you. This was engineered for one thing: moving two people and their luggage across vast distances at sustained speeds without drama. It's not quick, it's inevitable. And here's another thing that modern cars can't replicate. This engine sounds like it means business without trying to sound like anything other than what it is. No fake exhaust noise through the speakers, no sound symposer pumping engine noise into the cabin, just the low-frequency symphony of 8 cylinders doing what they were born to do. Modern cars launch like they're trying to escape something. This car accelerates like it knows it's going to arrive somewhere important, and I think that's the difference. Much like the engine, the 4-speed automatic just operates silently without complaint in the background, doing exactly what it was meant to do, and that is shifting smoothly to not upset yourself as the driver or your passenger. And in the case of this car, it's been shifting reliably since Reagan became president. It's been a long time since I've driven anything with a recirculating ball steering system. Now I remember why people complained about them in the 80s, because they're somewhat precise, if a little vague. Come to think of it, this recirculating ball steering system was already outdated in 1987, kind of like my fashion sense and twice as functional. You do have to pay attention, which is a good thing because that's what driving's all about, and it involves actively driving this SL. Despite that, there's a lot of feel here, and in contrast, modern cars filter steering feel through so many electronic intermediaries that driving often feels like playing a video game. This gives you direct communication with the front tires through mechanical linkages that have been refined to perfection. When you turn the wheel, things happen exactly where and when you expect them to, if a little slow, with just enough effort to remind you that you're driving something real. Normally, at this point in the episode, we would talk about how this handles at its limits, but that's not what this car is about. This car is about ride quality, and I think that's where Mercedes decided to show off their engineering wizardry in 1987. Most cars make you choose comfort or control, boulevard cruising or canyon carving. This car says, why not both, and somehow pulls it off. The suspension absorbs road imperfections like they're beneath its dignity while maintaining body control that would make a yoga instructor jealous. It's like having a luxury sedan and a Grand Tour occupying the same space. It shouldn't be possible, but here we are. I think the braking system in this car represents the exact moment we went from brakes that I hope they'll stop to they'll definitely stop exactly where and when you want them to. Four-wheel discs with ABS means you can stand on the brakes in a panic situation and the car will handle the physics while you handle the panic. In 1987, it was like having a pro racing driver taking over just the stopping part while letting you handle everything else. And come to think of it, I do remember that moment in history and was fascinated by ABS. And in those days, Mercedes-Benz was the leader in ABS braking technology. This is very original, has been updated in the right ways. It's got a modern current set of tires and all new brakes. Even today, these brakes will stop this Roadster incredibly well with the confidence of a bouncer getting rid of a lightweight troublemaker. They engineered anti-dive geometry into the suspension system back in 1987, which was basically witchcraft, and even in 2025, it still works. This thing doesn't dive very much under braking. It's astonishing. And overall, this thing handles like a sports car that went to finishing school. It's quick when it's necessary, but otherwise it's perfectly civilized. Genuinely, the first time you get behind the wheel of a 560 SL, you are struck by how solidly this door closes. There is nothing else like this. There is absolutely no question that this door is closed, and that goes for all of the other latches around this 560 SL. Slipping behind the wheel of this SL is kind of like stepping into a fine gentleman's club that happens to have wheels. And no, I don't mean that kind of gentleman's club. Everything you touch feels substantial. The door handles have the heft of fine jewelry. Switches operate with precision that would make a Swiss watchmaker weep. And the seat adjustment controls work with mechanical certainty that modern cars simply can't match. There's zero learning curve here because everything is exactly where it should be. Behind the wheel, the fundamental seating position is just fine, but after that, it's a little bit compromised, and let me explain why. There's really not much of a dead pedal for my left foot. The steering column is not adjustable for height or reach, and there are limited adjustments in this seat. However, the fundamentals actually make for a comfortable seating position. Modern cars make you feel like you're piloting a spaceship with a periscope to a certain degree. This makes you feel like you're wearing the car instead of sitting in it. It's the difference between a tailored suit and something you bought at an airport gift shop. And despite these seats having a lot of age on them, they're still really comfortable nearly 40 years into their lifespans. Now, this steering wheel is quite a large diameter, especially in context today. This just wouldn't fly today. And even with this power-assisted recirculating ball steering system, it is definitely still on the large side. When you're here, you're faced with large gauges that are easy to read. It's very simple. After that, there are some simple things and some unusual things. I don't understand these climate controls at all. What I'm looking at is basically hieroglyphics, and I'm somehow managing to keep it cool inside the cabin at the moment. Let's talk about what passes for infotainment in 1987. A radio with a cassette player. this is digital detox therapy, except you happen to be going 60 miles an hour. In terms of spaciousness here on the inside, this definitely still holds up today. There's an abundance of space, certainly with the roof off. There's an unlimited amount of headroom. And I have to mention, the reason the roof is not off today is that this is a car from 1987, and taking this hardtop off is a bit of an ordeal. It's far more work than I've had time for, so we're just leaving that on for now. There's a decent amount of storage around the cabin. Of course, there is an ashtray, because who doesn't need an ashtray? And there's some pockets in the doors, some storage here. There's lots of storage behind the front seats. The trunk is voluminous as well. And I suppose the only thing that we're missing here is a set of cup holders. But again, this is a 1980s Mercedes, and they didn't believe in cup holders back then. And fun fact, from the driver's seat, you can see all four corners of this car, making it easier to park than every single modern compact car. Now, before you go over to bring a trailer and buy the next R107 you see, let's have a look at what owners are saying, starting with the shopping list of doom. If you're buying one of these, the timing chain guides are your number one concern. These plastic guides turn into expensive confetti around 100,000 miles, and when they fail, they take the whole engine with them. Budget $2,000 for the service or walk away. Next, check the front subframe mounts. They crack and corrode, turning your solid Mercedes into a rattle trap. And here's a fun one. The vacuum system runs everything from the headlight wipers to the soft top latches. When those ancient hoses fail, your car develops automotive ADD. Nothing works consistently. And here's what R107 forums won't admit in polite company. These cars can bankrupt you if you buy cheap and fix later. A $15,000 project car can easily consume another $15,000 before it's roadworthy. But here's the flip side. Owners who've done the work properly wouldn't trade these cars for anything modern, and I understand that. Just like this one, once you drive a properly sorted 560 SL, every modern car feels like it's held together with good intentions and warranty disclaimers. Owners describe an emotional connection that's impossible to quantify. The way they make a Sunset Drive feel like therapy, how strangers approach you at gas stations with story about their dad's Mercedes, and how the German engineering makes you question why we ever stopped building cars like tanks. What's the R107 ownership hack? Well, that's pretty easy. Find a good one, maintain it properly, and you'll understand why R107 owners consider themselves member of a special club that modern Mercedes just can't replicate. My verdict? Well, here's what car companies lost when the accountants took over. This weighs 3,670 pounds, and every single pound serves a purpose. The doors are thick enough to stop small arms fire. The engine block is cast aluminum so robust it could probably survive a nuclear blast. Modern luxury car makers will charge you well into the six figures for their tech-laden sedans that feel flimsy compared to this 40-year-old roadster. We traded automotive immortality for quarterly profit margins, and cars like this prove we got a terrible deal. The 560 SL isn't just the last car built like a tank, it's a rolling reminder of what happens when engineers are allowed to build things right instead of building things to satisfy the bean counters. The beautiful thing about this SL is its simplicity and its honesty, because it was engineered in an era where cars were intended to do very specific things and weren't trying to be everything to everyone. In the 560 SL's case, it's a supremely competent, beautifully engineered machine designed to make covering great distances feel effortless and perfectly enjoyable. It doesn't apologize for not being faster, lighter, or more fuel efficient than modern cars. And that's because it's accomplishing something more important. It's being better. Better built, better engineered, better aged, and ultimately better at the fundamental mission of making driving a pleasure instead of a chore. That's not nostalgia. That's something that's desperately missing from modern cars. Before we go, I got to say thanks to my friend Rob, the world's fastest dentist, for loaning me his gorgeous 560 SL. And thanks, Rob. Gotta say, this one has aged extremely well. Thanks for hanging out with me today and having a look at this 1987 Mercedes-Benz 560 SL. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, you're not new, you know what to do. Smash the subscribe button, turn on your notifications, like this, and as always, sharing is caring, so please share this with your friends, especially on Reddit, because on Reddit, they really need to see reviews for drivers from drivers. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you want to support the channel, please hit up our merch store. Links here, links below. Lots of great stuff for driving enthusiasts like us, including our very popular line of Save the Manuals merch. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again next time. And since you've hung around this long, well, have a look at the polar opposite to this 560 SL, the latest generation SL. We actually have a review on that on this channel, and I think you might find that episode interesting. Thanks again for watching. See you again next time.